So I know this is crazy to say, but like this is what people don't get. Like I know that the world revolves around me. I do it by like music. If you think about it, like 2013, I graduated high school, signifying the start of everything. Around 2011, I got with my girlfriend, and she was not the best girlfriend I could have gotten myself, but I got with her, and to tell you the truth, she was great. She has so many problems at home that it showed in the relationship, and I couldn't do anything about it. But like 2014, I started selling quarter pounds and traveling to on my own dime. I went to Toronto. We were going to New York and everything. 2015, I was all over the place, and that's when I got my apartment and I started selling pounds. 2016, I was deep in pounds, making crazy connections in and out of New York. Then October 2016 is when everything started to crash. That's when everything went to shit. Um, and that's when like music started changing. So like think about Drake. Drake came out in 2013 with Nothing Was the Same. And after Nothing Was the Same, that's when everything he started doing sounded so much better and so much fuller and sounded so much more complete. Like 2011 came out with Take Care. Take Care was all right. That's when I got with Randy. And that's the same time the Weeknd came out, but we're going to talk about the Weeknd later. Drake started peaking after Nothing Was the Same. And I graduated in 2013. That was the signal to the start of my life right there, right? And then we have Future. He came out with Break in 2015, What a Time to Be Alive. So that was just bumping. And that was like me and Dan going back and forth and dealing our shit. 2017, he put out Mask Off and I'm So Groovy. I know I said 2016, that's when everything started to crash, but I was still trying to get back on top of everything around then. But that's when he put out like his best work, essentially. Then you have Cardi B. Her first album was in 2016. And then in 2018, she came out with Bodak Yellow, Bloody Shoes. But I feel like it came out a little bit earlier than that. Then we got Lil Uzi, who came out in 2015. And that's when, like I said, in 2015, I was all over the place. I was getting my apartment, started selling pounds and everything like that. And he came out with You Was Right in 2016 and also P's and Q in the same album. Yo, headbangers, headbangers. And then you have The Weeknd that came out in 2011. That was when I was with Randy. And then Kissland came out in 2013. Beauty Behind the Madness came out in 2015. 2016, he came out with Starboy. He switched his flow up after like 2013. So remember in 2011, he came out with a trilogy. And that's when I was going out with Randy and she was basically the school whore. But I still took the chance with her and it was just heartbreak. And that's what came out with The Weeknd. It was just straight up heartbreak. And it was his starting album was so good. And then he followed it up with Hisland in 2013. And in 2013, that whole album is perfect. Like I have every single one notched into my Spotify. The trilogy was good. The trilogy was good. Don't get me wrong, but Hisland was so perfect. And then in 2016, Kanye West came out with The Life of Pablo, his best album. And it was so up to date with the times and it was so well put together. And then you have Logic. He did Under Pressure in 2014. He made other music before, but he started out his albums in 2014. And that was when what was I doing in 2014? 2014, that's when I started selling the quarter pounds and shit. And everything started. Then The Incredible True Story, he has Cowboy Bebop in it. And Cowboy Bebop becomes my favorite soundtrack later on in life. And then in 2016, he had Bobby Tarantino. And that's when the first song is called Illuminatro. And that was a big thing around that time for me because it felt like I was being introduced into like the Illuminati and whatnot. So for him to put that song in 2016 was really hilarious. So just look at music around 2014, 2013, 2011. Like the music that came out then was the start of the new era. And that was the start of my life. And towards the end, everybody started coming out with like sucky music, except for The Weeknd. But The Weeknd is my favorite artist. Everybody started coming out with like bad music. The Kanye West, his music was all right. Cardi B started getting bigger and bigger. Future started getting bigger and bigger. But everything started around 2011 to 2016. Big, big. And I know that it revolves around me. No, I sound insane, but like, bro, I'm telling you.